Well, now to the supermarket and a new investigation finding consumers are being overcharged.
The average American family throws away more than $1,500 a year on grocery products they didn't need, didn't understand, and were designed, on purpose, to take their money, not by accident, by teams of people with psychology degrees and seven-figure bonuses whose entire job is figuring out how to get you to spend more without noticing. 13 items, everyone a trap. Everyone's something you've probably bought in the last month, and by the end, you'll know exactly how to stop bleeding money in every aisle. Some of these will annoy you, some will disgust you, and one of them, the marinated meat, might make you physically gag when you hear what a former butcher admitted on camera. Let's get into it. Item 1. Shrinkflated cereals, snacks, and sweets. I grabbed a box of Frosted Flakes last week. Same Tony the Tiger, same bright yellow box, same shelf I've been pulling it from for years, but something felt off, lighter. Like someone had been sneaking handfuls out before I got there. Nobody stole my cereal. Kellogg's, now called Kellanova, because apparently a name change fixes everything, shrank the family size from 24 ounces to 21.7. Same price, that's 40% more per spoonful. They pulled in over $13 billion last year. They could have absorbed the cost. They looked at the numbers, looked at you, and chose your wallet. Party-sized Cheetos dropped from 17.5 to 15 ounces. PepsiCo made $91 billion in 2024. They didn't shrink your bag because they had to. They shrunk it because they bet you wouldn't notice. Reddit noticed. The Shrinkflation Hall of Shame subreddit has over 500,000 people posting side-by-side photos. One woman in Phoenix thought she'd grab the snack size bag. Nope, that was the family size. Even Cookie Monster posted on X that he hates shrinkflation because his cookies are getting smaller. When you've lost Cookie Monster, you've lost America. And now there's something sneakier called skimpflation. Same box, same size, cheaper ingredients inside. You're not just getting less, you're getting worse. And that trick comes back in almost every item on this list. Your rule, ignore the front of the package. The unit price, that tiny number on the shelf tag, is the only number in the store that doesn't lie. They shrink the box and pray you won't notice. The next item doesn't even bother hiding. It just charges you triple for 5 seconds of work. Item 2. Single-serve snacks and yogurt cups. I was in line behind a mom with 2 kids last Tuesday. Her cart was packed with single-serve everything. Little bags of goldfish, individual Oreo sleeves, mini chip bags. Her snack total, $47. I ran the numbers when I got home. Same brands, regular sizes, portioned into sandwich bags, $14. She was paying $33 extra every week, over $1,700 a year, so that Mondelez International, a $36 billion corporation, could put her crackers into smaller bags. Your kids don't need a billion-dollar snack company teaching them how to count crackers. What you need is a $5 set of containers in 2 minutes. The yogurt aisle is even worse. Individual cups run up to 5 times more per pound than a large tub of the exact same product. Same brand, same flavor. If you eat 1 yogurt cup a day instead of spooning from a tub, that's $300 a year gone. A weekend trip sacrificed for pre-measured dairy. Your rule, if a package says snack size, check the unit price. If it's more than 50% higher, a sandwich bag just gave your family a raise. They charge triple for smaller bags, but the next item lies to your face before your kids have even finished breakfast. Item 3. Healthy. Cereals and granola bars. Heart healthy, whole grain, good source of protein, part of a balanced breakfast. Nobody has ever looked as happy eating cereal as the families on those boxes. Nobody. Those people were hired. A mom on TikTok flipped her kid's healthy cereal box over and compared the sugar to Oreos. The cereal had more sugar per serving. Millions of views because it confirmed what everybody suspected but nobody checked. That heart-healthy bowl is a candy bar that learned how to spell whole grain. The good source of protein claim? Usually 6 grams. Most adults need 25 to 30 at breakfast to maintain muscle and stay full. You're getting a quarter of that and wondering why you're rating the fridge by 10 a.m. You didn't fail the cereal failed you. General Mills, at over $20 billion in revenue, spends hundreds of millions on packaging design and health claims. Granola bars? Most have more sugar than protein. That's not a snack. That's a candy bar wearing a hiking outfit. And remember shrinkflation from item 1? Nearly 44% of breakfast products have quietly shrunk. More money for less food that wasn't good for you in the first place. 3 scams stacked in 1 bowl. Your rule, if the sugar is higher than the protein, it's candy, no matter what the box says. Cereal sells a health fantasy. The next item doubles down, slaps wellness on a salt bomb, and sticks it in the freezer aisle. Item 4, frozen healthy meals. Lean. Power. Protein-packed. Balanced. My neighbor, 62, lives alone, watches her sodium because her doctor told her to, was eating these 4 nights a week. She thought she was doing the right thing. The box literally says healthy. I asked her to flip one over and read the sodium. Her face changed. 870 milligrams in one little plastic tray. The American Heart Association says 1,500 a day if you're watching blood pressure. She was blowing through more than half her limit before she finished the sad rubbery noodles. If you're on ACE inhibitors, beta blockers, or any blood pressure medication, that sodium is actively fighting your prescription. Your doctor is pulling the number down. That tray is pushing it back up. A Whole Foods employee on Reddit described their prepared food section. We don't really cook much, and don't pay enough to retain good cooks. Another replied, most of it is glorified heating up of food. That was Whole Foods. Imagine what's happening at the brands nobody's watching. Conagra, $12 billion in revenue, makes Healthy Choice and Marie calendars. Portions have shrunk. Meat's gotten thinner. But the word healthy stayed right where you can see it. They could slap that word on a bag of gravel and nobody would stop them. Your rule, under 600 milligrams sodium, at least 15 grams of protein. That's the line between okay occasionally and your prescription working overtime. The freezer aisle sells you salt disguised as wellness. The next item hides something scarier, in those cute little jars that have been sitting in your spice cabinet since who knows when. Item 5. Name brand spices. I picked up a jar of McCormick oregano last week. 2 inches tall, maybe an ounce. $5.49. Then I stopped at an Indian grocery store on the way home. Same amount of oregano, 60 cents. Same spice, same flavor. Nearly a 1,000% price difference because one had a green lid. McCormick & Company, $6.7 billion in revenue, isn't selling you seasoning. They're selling you the illusion that a recognizable label means quality. You could sneeze on your garden and grow oregano, but the markup is only the annoying part. Here's the scary part. Consumer Reports tested popular spice brands and found concerning levels of lead, arsenic, and cadmium, heavy metals, in your seasoning. In jars that have been sitting on shelves for months, sometimes over a year, by the time that oregano hits your pasta, it has the flavor profile of sawdust and might also be contaminated with metals your body can't get rid of. Children's smaller bodies concentrate those metals faster. If you're cooking for grandkids with spices from 3 Christmases ago, that's stale and potentially toxic. 2 problems for the price of 1. What a deal. Your rule: buy from Indian, Middle Eastern, or Latin grocery stores. Higher turnover means fresher product at a fraction of the price. And throw away anything open more than a year. If this kind of content helps you see through the games, hit subscribe. No sponsors from the companies we're covering, no fluff, just information your grocery store hopes you never hear. Heavy metals in your spice rack. The next scam doesn't target your cabinet, it hijacks your nose the moment you walk through the door. Item 6. In-store bakery and freshly baked items. You walk in with a plan, a list, focus. Then it hits you. That warm bread smell, something sweet. And suddenly your list doesn't matter. You're floating toward the bakery like a cartoon character following a pie on a windowsill. That smell isn't an accident. Some stores position ovens near the entrance. Others, and this should really annoy you, pump artificial baking scent through the ventilation system. According to the Scent Marketing Institute, when the smell of fresh bread was artificially circulated in a grocery store, bakery sales tripled. They're not baking for you. They're baiting you. And that freshly baked bread? A bakery worker on Reddit put it perfectly. Did the customers think the 3 people they see in the department baked the 3,000 products we stock from scratch every day? Do they think there is an army of minimum wage workers hidden in the back, lovingly kneading breads and whispering encouragement to cake batter as it goes into the oven? A UK employee confirmed they baked nothing fresh from scratch in store, just loading frozen, prefabricated loaves into the oven and selecting the rebake setting. An investigator called grocery ovens loaf tanning salons, browning crusts on bread that was manufactured in a factory somewhere else entirely. That $4 muffin cost them about $1.50, a markup that would make a car dealership blush. Your rule: set your bakery budget before you smell anything. Hit the day-old rack first, same muffins, half the price. And never, ever shop hungry. Your nose got hijacked by frozen dough and a ventilation system. The next item charges even more for convenience. And what the marinade is hiding might make you throw away what's in your fridge right now. Item 7. Pre-marinated meats. I want you to picture this. You're in the meat aisle. Plain chicken breast, $4.99 a pound. Right next to it, teriyaki chicken glistening under the lights, $7.99. That marinade cost the store maybe 50 cents. You're paying $3 extra per pound for sauce. But the money isn't even the real problem. A TikTok from a former butcher exploded, 1.7 million views. He read a DM from someone who'd worked at multiple big-name grocery stores. The message, every single piece of meat that came into our stores had some disgusting issues we had to cut out, cut off, or mask. And masking? That meant marinades. Heavy seasoning to hide the smell, thick sauce to hide the color, onions mixed in so your nose can't tell what's underneath. On Quora, a chef described getting a vacuum-packed porterhouse that smelled rancid, called his butcher for a replacement. The pickup guy told him, straight to his face, "We're going to cut it up, marinate it, and resell it in the shop." That chef never bought pre-marinated meat again. Another Reddit user who worked the meat department, the marinated meat was meat that was old but not bad. A commenter replied, "My father's a butcher and he told us never to buy marinated meats because the vinegar and spices mask the smell. When the evidence is drowned in teriyaki, the jury can't see the crime. And that marinade packs over 800 milligrams of sodium per serving. If you're on blood pressure medication, that convenient dinner is quietly working against your prescription. Making your own marinade takes 3 minutes and saves you $3 a pound. That adds up to over $400 a year for a family of 4. Don't pay someone else for 3 minutes of work you can do with olive oil and garlic. Your rule, if you can't see the meat's true color through the sauce, buy plain and season it yourself. Ever grabbed a marinated pack and thought the sauce seemed suspiciously thick? Drop a comment. This one hits home for a lot of people. The next item is sneakier. It charges you double and uses your own kitchen skills, or lack of them, as the excuse. Item 8. Pre-cut fruits and vegetables. I saw it again last weekend. Container of pre-cut watermelon, $6.99. 3 feet away, a whole watermelon, $3.99. Same fruit, same store. Nearly double because someone spent 5 minutes with a knife. That's like paying a mechanic $200 to change your wiper blades. Now, if arthritis or weak wrists make cutting painful or dangerous, pre-cut has real value. I'm not here to judge that. But here's what grocery workers say when nobody's paying them to talk. That pre-cut section is where ugly produce goes for a makeover. Watermelon going soft? Cut away the bad parts, cube what's left, sell it for more than the whole one cost. A former produce worker on Reddit. If it's too ugly for the display, it goes in the clamshell. Another said the manager called it the rescue program. Rescue for the store's margins, not for your wallet. Your rule, if you don't physically need it, try frozen. Picked at peak ripeness, already cut, 40 to 60% cheaper than the fresh pre-cut tubs. The rescue program saves ugly produce. The next item saves ugly chickens, and the rabbit hole goes deeper than you think. Item 9. Rotisserie chickens and the repurposing chain. Costco's rotisserie chicken, $4.99. Over 106 million sold a year. Here's a question nobody stops to ask. How on earth are they making money on that? They're not. They lose up to $30 to $40 million a year on those birds. That's the point. It's a loss leader. You came for the $5 chicken. Quick dinner, easy win, but now you're walking past potato salad at $8.99 a pound. Caesar kit, $6.99. Artisan rolls. That cheesecake making eye contact with you from the end cap. By the time you reach the register, that cheap dinner cost $25 or $30. The chicken was the worm. You were the fish. But here's the part nobody talks about. According to KCET and multiple supermarket consultants, those golden rotisserie birds are often the unsold raw chickens from the meat case that were about to hit their sell-by date. Raw chicken about to expire becomes today's rotisserie special. The heavy seasoning and injection solutions help mask off flavors in older meat. And it doesn't stop there. A Walmart deli worker put it plainly. Old hot hold gets turned to chicken salad. A Kroger employee confirmed they came off the hot table, put in a blast chiller, and the next day put in the fridge section. Follow the chain. Raw chicken about to expire, arrow seasoned and roasted as rotisserie. Unsold rotisserie arrow chopped into chicken salad. Unsold chicken salad arrow tossed into soup. 1 bird, 3 lives. Each one further from fresh. That $8.99 a pound chicken salad might be the third reincarnation of a bird that almost didn't make it out of the meat case. And those prepared sides, potato salad, pasta salad, coleslaw, cost more per pound than steak. You're paying prime beef prices for mayonnaise, noodles, and potatoes. Someone in corporate calculated that exact markup, knowing you'd be too tired after work to notice. Your rule, buy the rotisserie chicken. It's still a great deal if it's hot and fresh. Skip the prepared sides and deli salads. That's where the real markup lives. 1 chicken stretches into dinner, sandwiches the next day, and soup from the bones. Half a week for $5. How many of these first 9 have been quietly draining your wallet? Drop a number in the comments. Let's see how widespread this really is. One chicken can live 3 lives without you knowing. The next trick uses a different kind of afterlife. It makes ordinary food sound like medicine and charges you double for the privilege. Item 10. Organic labels. Spent backwards. You're probably paying 20% extra for organic avocados. It's almost completely pointless. Every year, researchers release the Dirty Dozen and Clean 15, ranking produce by actual pesticide residue after washing. Avocados have the lowest residue of almost anything tested. Thick skin blocks everything. Buying organic avocados is like buying flood insurance for a house on a mountaintop. Meanwhile, you might be buying conventional strawberries, which carry some of the highest residue, because the organic ones cost too much. That's completely backwards. Organic avocados in the cart, conventional strawberries in the same bag. The expensive choice protects nothing. The cheap choice exposes everything. For kids, it matters even more. Developing bodies are more sensitive to pesticides and consume more produce per pound of body weight. The organic market is worth $50 billion a year. That number has its own lobbying operation. They're counting on you not knowing which produce actually needs protection and which doesn't. Your rule: organic dollars on berries, greens, and thin-skinned fruit. Save on thick skins and anything you peel. Print the Dirty Dozen list, tape it to your fridge. Organic labels exploit your concern for your family. The next item exploits something else: your phone, or more specifically, the fact that you don't use one. Item 11. Digital-only coupons. You see a sale sign, great price, you grab it. The cashier rings you up. That price is only with the app. Without the app, full price. That sign wasn't designed to give you the deal. It was designed to get you excited about a deal you can't have. Kroger, $150 billion in revenue, made digital pricing the backbone of its model. One shopper posted a receipt showing 2 identical items. One scanned with the app, one without. Difference, $4.30. Same cart, same cashier. That's not a loyalty program. That's a penalty for not downloading an app. ARP found millions of shoppers are locked out of the best prices because they don't use smartphones. That's not a loyalty program. That's a fine for being over 60. And Kroger's system tracks every purchase and sells your behavioral data to advertisers. You're not getting a discount. You're trading your shopping habits for prices that used to just be the price. Your rule: ask customer service to load deals onto your card at the register. Some will. If a store refuses fair prices without a smartphone, they've told you who they are, believe them. They punish you for not having an app. The next item might be the most insidious one on the list because it uses the word value to convince you that wasting food is saving money. Item 12. Family value and bulk illusions. Buy in bulk. Bigger is always better. Family size saves money. Sounds right, feels right. Isn't always true. Some family size packages actually cost more per ounce than regular, and some of those boxes lost more ounces during shrinkflation. There it is again. Same trick from item 1. So you're paying a higher per ounce price even though the box is physically bigger. The scams don't stay in their lane, they stack. Even when bulk is cheaper per unit, there's waste. I have a friend who lives alone and keeps buying the 5-pound bags of spinach because the per ounce price looks smart. It's green slime by Wednesday, every single time. She's not saving money. She's composting with extra steps. And that 48-pack of yogurt? By week 3, the back row has become a science experiment your kids are afraid to open. Grocery stores use words like value and family and economy to trigger your instincts, to make you feel smart even when the math says otherwise. These aren't descriptions, they're weapons. Your rule: buy the smallest size your household will actually finish. The cheapest food is the food you eat, not the food you throw away. Item 13. Bottled water. The $30 billion scam in your fridge. One last item, and it might be the most ridiculous one of all. Quick caveat: if you have lead pipes or contaminated well water, you may genuinely need bottled water. What I'm about to say is for the rest of us. I used to be a bottled water person, fridge stocked, gym bag loaded, case in the car. I thought I was making the healthier choice. Then I looked at what's actually in the bottle. In 2024, researchers at Columbia and Rutgers aimed new laser imaging at bottled water and found approximately 240,000 plastic particles per liter, 250,000 microscopic pieces of plastic per liter. Drink your recommended daily water from bottles, and that's nearly 1 million particles entering your body every day. These things are small enough to cross into your bloodstream. For pregnant women, they cross the placenta. That's not me being dramatic, that's the study. And who's selling you this? Nestle, PepsiCo, and Coca-Cola. combined revenues over $300 billion, are literally bottling municipal tap water, running it through a filter, and charging you a 2,000% markup. They're selling you your own water in a container that poisons it. If you're buying a case a week, that's roughly $500 a year on tap water in a plastic bottle. A $30 pitcher filter does the same job for the entire year. Evian spelled backwards is naive. I'm sure that's a coincidence. Your rule: if your tap water is safe, a $30 filter in a reusable bottle saves you hundreds a year. Leave the plastic for emergencies. Your body is 60% water. Make sure what you're putting in it isn't 100% plastic. 13 tricks. Same corporations running every single one. PepsiCo, Nestle, Kroger, Kellanova, Conagra, Mondelez, General Mills, McCormick. Billions in revenue, armies of psychologists, packaging designers, and scent machines, all aimed at separating you from your money without you feeling it. Now you see it. You're not the easy mark they designed these tricks for anymore. Next trip, 3 changes. Check the unit price on anything that says family size. Skip one pre-portioned item and buy the regular bag instead. And look at the sodium on that frozen meal before it goes in the cart. 3 changes. That alone saves $20 to $30 a month. That's yours, not theirs. What's the grocery trick that gets under your skin the most? Drop it in the comments. You're building part 2 for me. And if you're heading to the store after this, eat something first. That bakery smell isn't playing fair.